how's it going? I'm Fruitbat. It's been a very long time since the last time I did a video, and I wanted to start with Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York, which I guess it's a weird choice, but I've always loved vampires and dialogue games and sort of thing. So I guess you're going to have to bear with me. Welcome to my castle. Don't expect everyday logic to work here. It went out of the window sometime after midnight, maybe earlier. My kingdom is not of this world, you see. It lies far outside of concrete, tangible reality. I've tried to identify the way people reach it, and I'm convinced it has something to do with the moon. Some say the moon's aura can turn them insane. We've heard the phrases moonstruck, lunatic. The way I see it, moonlight gives them some subliminal permission to reveal their true selves. And so, whenever they let the silver radiance guide them to the gates of this place, they feel different. Once they pass the doorstep, they're ready to act out. A dance of horrors and marvels begins. It's 3:30 a.m. Welcome to Big Beat Burger. If you're here at this hour, you're not exactly readying up to be a productive member of society come tomorrow morning. More likely, you're praying that the sunrise never comes. Insatiable children of the night gather round, hoping to bask in the afterglow of tonight's victories, unwind after a frustrating series of failures, or simply fight to keep themselves together. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here, greedily reveling in every interaction they have. They have no idea they are only here for my amusement. To them, I'm just a random girl sitting in the corner. But this is my domain. I've been coming here almost every night for years. I know where to sit, where to look, and where to eavesdrop for maximum amusement. I'm basically a voyeur, and unashamed to admit it. It gave me insight about the human condition I'd never otherwise have gathered, and more importantly, a necessary skill set to make ends meet as a journalist. As I write on my crappy old laptop, patiently waiting for the legion of negative voices in my head to get too tired to offer useless feedback, I keep my senses peeled to pick up stories around me. Of course, a lot of regular events such as food fights are nothing to write about, aside from my unfortunate tendency to become collateral damage in someone else's battles. Up to this day, I've had to wash my clothes because of Coke, Diet Coke, hot coffee, apple pie, and some sort of a improvised honey mustard bomb. Every stain tells a different story. Sometimes this hobby is exhausting. Sometimes it's disturbing, sometimes it's dangerous, although not as risky as back as when I wasn't carrying pepper spray. Still, the sights I've taken in over the years here have made it absolutely worth it. I've gotten so many stories, I don't know where to begin. Theatrical breakups, impromptu morning parties, unexpected friendships forged in the fires of senseless battle. A lady in a gorgeous Givenchy dress ordering a box of takeout chicken nuggets, paying in cash with her hands completely covered in blood. She was asked if she wanted a napkin. She said no. Two thirsty macho dudes shamelessly going for it in the corner, just moaning, filling the lobby, while everyone around valiantly fights to act as casual and maintain an illusion of normalcy. A straight-up kung fu fight between a diminutive cashier and some drugged bodybuilder going through a psychotic episode trying to break all the windows. Jesus Christ. The big guy left the joint fully convinced he KO'd himself, while the service worker was just standing next to him. Seemed proud of his victory too. A middle-aged hag getting a heart attack after screaming her lungs out to not let Muslims near her food just because she saw a white girl wearing a hairnet behind the counter. Ooh. A masked couple robbing the restaurant of 30 hamburgers, forcing the employees to cook at gunpoint. Police later said those were art students reenacting some hipster book they read. I've been to art school, I'm not surprised. This is life. This is humanity as its worst and best. This is the noise that serves as the foundation for my creativity. This is the soma that keeps me going. This is... As pathetic as it may sound, these days, this is the only place where I feel alive. Sometimes I think of myself as a leech, feeding on these people's stories, emotions, and personalities, just because I'm not satisfying with mine. At times I think of my psyche as some kind of shady postmodern construct that is fundamentally incapable of honesty, but only yearns for something felt, truthful. English don't fail me now, but don't fail me now. Does this even make any sense? I look at the screen of my laptop. 3:47 a.m. At this point, I don't know how to read that word, somnambulic, but nothing interesting has happened yet. Feels like all the customers are watching each other tonight, hoping for the others to provide a fun diversion. This is my turf, you parasitic douchebags. Next time, go find your own. I think it's time to call it a night. The coffee I always order so that they don't kick me out is undrinkable. Ugh. I reread the rough draft I've been working on for like 6 hours. Goddamn, this is pure trash. I hold the backspace button until the Google Documents page is nothing but a calm white slate and let out a sound of deep relief. There's no pleasure more intoxicating for a frustrated writer than ragging on someone even worse than them. And what target is easier than the dumb bitch used to be 10 minutes ago? I check the time again. I need to go. I have an important meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I have a hunch it's not going to end well. And it's not because I'm an irresponsible dumbass who's going to need a few cups of coffee to simply function on a basic level despite like 4 hours of sleep. It's because I always have a hunch things are not going the way they're supposed to. Click, clack, click, clack. The loud clatter of keyboards assaults me from all sides. Makes this bleeding headache unbearable. Used to be. I dreamed of nothing else but being a part of the New York Lodestar editorial team. It was the first magazine I started reading regularly, the first magazine I even bought for myself. Now simply hearing the word Lodestar is enough to ruin my mood. Never mind seeing all these old farts phoning in more reactionary opinion columns and Wikipedia level analysis of current events. Click clack, click clack. They used to destroy and rebuild my entire worldview every month. They shaped my thinking about politics, art, journalism. They even pointed me towards my favorite cigarette brand, for God's sake. Then some talented people started leaving for greener pastures. Some got too wrapped up in their own neuroses. Some became complacent. All of them committed the sin of allowing themselves to grow older. Fresh blood was deemed unnecessary, even though young freelancers kept being bled dry. These days, whenever someone from outside Lodestar talks about Lodestar, it's because of a few idealistic contributors willing to accept meager pay while putting in serious work. Dumbasses. Other than that, the magazine specializes in publishing pale echoes of provocative ideas I heard somewhere else a few years prior, wrapped in an aesthetic that hasn't been cutting edge for a decade. No wonder the readership is a freefall. But even though the ship is sinking, the old guard won't let it go down without a fight. As in, if anyone from outside attempts to board the vessel in hopes of fixing its course or its holes, they will be swiftly taken care of. I should know. Been there, done that. As it stands, the only full-time staff member who doesn't make me regularly attempt to cringe my face off with this writing is Lodestar Editor-in-Chief Brian Ng, the man sitting in front of me right now. Of course, he only has time for editorials these days, a drop in the sea of needs. Managerial duties hit him hard. It's the second time he lets out a theatrical cough like this. He said his piece, now it's up for me to react. And I'm coming up blank. What do we do? What do you want me to say, Brian? I'm pissed off. I can tell how you've already made up your mind, but you still want to go through the emotions just to make me feel listened to. Whatever. Let's do this. Oh. You're protecting a complete piece of shit here, Brian. Now look, I know my article sounds like character assassination, but it's just because the guy gave me enough ammo to make him look like Swiss cheese once the story goes live. My sources are legit. They provided receipts for everything. They faced all kinds of injustice and are crying out for help. So why are you siding with a corporate shithead and not them? Your sources are not the problem here. I've never said they were. You're avoiding the core of the issue. No, I believe I've pinpointed it in a precise way. If it were up to me, I'd greenlight the article here and now, and we wouldn't have this conversation. But you're killing the article just because some rich shithead told you he doesn't like it. Get real. This is not about some millionaire jerk calling me to make me an offer I can't refuse. What is it about then? Because it awfully looks like it's about my bosses telling me this outlet can't afford the legal action, and we have already been threatened with. So, millionaire interference. For crying out loud, Julia, don't make me treat you like a child. You know how this works. I publish your story, it's Thiel versus Gollum all over again. A lawsuit here, a lawsuit there, until we're bled dry. I have a mortgage. I have 3 mouths waiting to be fed at home. I have an amazing team that doesn't deserve to be torn apart of some... Don't you think it's telling you mentioned your mortgage first? Just asking questions. I know better than you. I know better than to get into these empty semantic arguments with you, Miss Sowinski. You're good at them. The problem is, you're still not good enough. Meaning? You're too in love with weaving a good story and establishing a seductive narrative to let facts get in the way. You've got enough boring suits with no principles on board these days. They always give you facts because that's all they can do. I'm using facts as a way to approach some kind of truth. Except facts can blindside you. And Double Spiral has enough facts to water down your story to the point where it makes no sense to publish it. Their HR and PR are working overtime to deliver a convincing counter-narrative, and they're doing a great job. Won't mitigate the damage completely, but will put every little thing in question. Jess Montgomery is a racist, a fraud, a sexual predator, and a downright satanic fuckhead. Julia, let me say it again. Jess Montgomery is a racist, a fraud, a sexual predator, and a downright satanic fuckhead. Do you personally believe it or not? And this is not. You've listened to the tapes. You've gotten the transcripts. You've seen the documents. You've got the files. I'm asking for your personal opinion. Do you believe it or not? Click, clack, click, clack. Of course I do. But that's beside the point. It's not. Look, how about I just say it out loud and save us both some time? We're not having this conversation because there's an actual conversation to be had. You set up this meeting knowing very damn well there is only one way it's going to end. You've got a mortgage and 3 mouths to feed. You prioritize the well-being of your direct surroundings over some nebulous concept of greater good. I get it. I really do. Yet for some reason, it seems like you're only prolonging this conversation and rationalizing your decisions so that I forgive you? Officially exonerate you? I'm not the bad guy here, Julia. What are you then? In your own words. A man who does what is necessary to protect his own. So I don't count as your own anymore. He mutters something under his breath, ending with a self-pitying chuckle. I don't know if you've even had want to work under a scumbag like me from now on. Oh, come on, turn this into a pity party. No, I'm absolutely a scumbag. And why is that? Because I'm firing you. My thoughts are scrambled. For a brief moment, the state of my bank account displays before my eyes with startling clarity. A howling void opens in my chest and starts traveling towards my stomach. No, don't panic yet, you idiot. Get more information now. There must be a catch. Is this final? They told me there will be consequences if the outlet ever picks up your work again. I shouldn't even be telling you that. I did everything in my power to change their mind. I'm sorry. They? What they? Who is they? He glances left and right and then points upward for a short moment. When he speaks up again, it's an hushed voice. You know, the big kahunas. Can't really question them, and they want your head on a silver plate. He's not looking me in the eye. You're not joking. I would never joke about stuff like this. It's real. Fucking hell, it's real. Damn it. All to hell! All these years, all this grind, all my plans are for what? Fucking asshole, you know I deserve better and I always deserve better and it always ends up with me going down the drain. Back to the fuck! No. Take a few deep breaths. Don't lose the plot now. Keep yourself together, you idiot. The moment you show weakness, they go for your throat. Get back into control. You can't do this. I wish I didn't have to, but it's a lost cause. No, I mean, it's impossible, Julia. You can't fire someone who's never been hired in the first place. It takes him a few seconds to put on his "oh, I get it" face. Let out a trouble gasp and start massaging his temples. Lodestar has been my biggest source of income for the past few years. That much is true, but technically nobody has ever hired me here. It was all freelance jobs. A full-time position only served as a kind of dangling carrot, a promise of a decent pay, career, perspectives, maybe even some kind of insurance to save my failing health. And the recognition I would get for being a part of the Lodestar team, a position that everyone around me seems to respect, aside from me. Then why did I want it so much? There will be a time to mourn what could have been. For now, I should act like I don't care. You know what I mean. If I let you work, even under a fake name, it would be a guillotine for me. This is ridiculous. You know I'm going to start shopping this story around the second I leave this room, don't you? Of course I know, I told them. Any response? Let us worry about that. Oh well, that doesn't sound ominous at all. Click, clack, click, clack. I do wonder if I could get accustomed to one of these loud mechanical keyboards some people here love to use. Well, I've got my own here and it's really loud, so no. The answer is no. Whenever I did my work in here, I was still expected to bring my own crappy laptop and sit closer to the lobby. Always on the outside, no matter how hard I tried to break in. A vibration in my back pocket feels like a bad omen. I decide to ignore it from now. I've been working on this fucking story for, I don't know, 16 months? On and off? I know. You kept cheering me on. I know. We have even agreed on the pay I'd receive. I know. I'm 2 months behind on my rent. No, wait. 2.5! I catch him off guard. He is momentarily taken aback and then gives me an empathetic stare. Don't you look at me this way. You don't have the right. I didn't know. Well, now you do. Look, if there's anything I can do to help, if you can't tell your big kahunas to fuck off, I don't think there's a single thing, Julia. I pull out a smoke and light it up. Gotta get back in control. Please don't do that. There's a smoke detector here. No worries. Nick turned it off a few weeks ago. Probably the most creative thing he's done in the past 5 years. Good old Nick, the perfect 21st century cinema reviewer. Never has an original thought of his own, just relies on his purely algorithmic taste to stay likable. And the best thing is, it works. Funny, I used to dream about this job. It was Brian who killed this dream, making me realize Nick won't be settled and seated anytime soon, and offered me to teach me the ways of an investigative journalist instead. Wasn't the career I ever wanted to pursue, but to my dismay, it turned out to be surprisingly good at it. Until this Montgomery thing happened. Serves me right. Lesson learned. Should have pursued my dreams instead. Stop it. Nicholas is a good friend, a respected critic, a member of my team. Put out that smoke. People tell me I let you step all over me. Why do I even let you act this way? Because you once told me honesty is most important in a mentor-student relationship. And that it works both ways. And because I thought we were friends. He bites his lip and stares sideways to avoid my eyes. At the end of the day, bosses aren't friends. Must have been a terrible mentor if I didn't even teach you that. Oh, no, you're not getting off this book that easily. You're still my mentor. And I will make sure you take responsibility. You're getting rid of me? At least point me in the right direction. I need to get my shit together, fast. And I can't do it on my own. Fair. I might have failed you as a guide, but I will do what I can not to leave you stranded, okay? There are options. None of them are a remedy for all the troubles, but... wait a second. Another vibration on my pocket. Another foreboding feeling. This time I reluctantly take the smartphone out of my pocket. If it has to rain, why not let it pour? A new email. A Langy one. And sender? Speak of the devil. No. No, this can't be. Christ. I just got an email from Mila Lopez. She claims she's been laid off from Double Spiral, same as Mike Wantonoff and Jared Riviera? What? It's... What happened? I'll spare you all our insults, okay? The key thing is, it seems their HR knows all the confidential information about my journalistic investigation and used it to shut down everyone's mouth. Hell, apparently Montgomery walked up to Lopez as she was emptying her desk and told her to thank me for being and, I quote, dumb and careless cunt. Brian goes pale. I think he has a very good reason to. You fucking scumbag. You outed my sources? What? No, of course not. What are you saying? How don't you dare play coy? It must have been either you or me, no one else. You know the way I work. My investigation was basically untraceable, both on and offline. I carefully picked up meeting spots, encryption upon encryption, every direct quote rewritten 5 times, just in case. All sorts of red herrings scattered around. I know my shit. You know I do. And this timing? Did you just pass a flash drive to your beloved big kahunas during a meeting as a sign of good faith? Will? Look, I get you're upset, but why don't we just talk this through calmly? Oh. Fury takes the wheel, and I'm just here along for the ride. I can't do anything about it. In a deranged way, realizing you're just a passenger in your own body feels liberating. Let's just see it all unfold. Calmly? Fuck you, Brian. Julia, I've been paranoid for months and months, acting like everyone I don't know was an assassin or a corporate spy. I know I haven't messed up. Not in a way that would implicate all of them. You goddamn, you thought you could get away with this? I haven't done anything improper. Don't push the blame on me. So what? You're claiming it's my fault? 'Cause you're never the guilty one. It's always the bosses, the economy, the obligations you have, and now me. You're being silly. Quit this Martin bullshit, calm down or I'll have to... You immoral shithead. You motherfucking calm down, for God's sake. And so it goes. I yell out a lot of words I wanted to say for a long time, but held back. I fling a lot of insults I've been workshopping for years, hoping I'd never use them. I break a few things. At times, for a split second, I see pity in somebody's eyes. It's gonna haunt me for a long time, but in the heat of the moment, I don't care. These people, no, this company, has nothing left to offer for me. So at least let me take this catharsis. In the end, a security guard has to escort me out of the building. And that's the end of my journalistic career. I just feel like my world has crumbled into nothing. I mean, you have every... no. I mean, you have every right to. Like, Jesus, if I were you, I would have already broken down into a sobbing mess. I'd love to, but I'm on subway, far too proud to cry in public, and it's stupid. But I feel like someone out there keeps destroying everything I hold dear just to see my reaction. Like it was a prank show and someone was waiting to record me crying. Alright, just call me if anything happens, no matter how dumb it seems, okay? And swing by whenever you can. I will. Thank you. See you. I put my phone away, exhale, and blankly stare in front of me. Christ. I glance at my reflection in the window. Just look at this idiot. Whenever the situation requires me to dress formally, I still feel like a bit of a child, cosplaying as an adult. Should have just followed the dress for the job you want advice and continued dressing up like a trust fund kid who keeps partying on Brooklyn rooftops for years without a care in the world. It's only after a while that I realize the car is empty, and naturally so. I start feeling uneasy, but someone enters my peripheral vision. Oh, hello. And that's the last thing I consciously register. The world dissolves. When I come to, I'm out of the subway, standing in a back alley I don't recognize. It's pretty dark. My eyes start adjusting, and I try to figure out what happened. There's a gun in my hand. A faint silhouette at my feet. It's not moving. Somebody stands in front of me, covered in shadows. I can fully make out their face, but she's staring at me with visible intent. She speaks. Her voice is raspy and androgynous, her tone hateful and mocking. Aren't you a nasty one? What's going on? Who are you? Don't play coy. My mind goes blank. I look at the ground. There's a body, riddled with bullet holes, and I recognize who it was. The corpse belongs to Mike Antonoff, one of the double-spirit whistleblowers, my source! He was just threatening to get back at me a few hours ago. Before I can even feel the tiniest bit of compassion, I face a terrible realization. They will think I'm guilty. Oh my god, am I guilty? How is this real? It wasn't me. I don't even know what's going on. Listen, I was just riding the subway. Again, don't play coy. You knew him. He was mad at you. You started telling him sob stories about your situation. He wasn't having none of it. You got mad. Things escalated. He died. This isn't true. It's plausible, but that doesn't make it true. Or does it? This is just a nightmare. Doesn't even make sense. It must be a dream. And if it isn't, the person in front of me must be responsible. There's a faint voice in my head screaming that it's her world and I'm just living in it. What the fuck have you done to me? Nothing yet. But I'll do what I can to get you locked up for life. This is a murder in the first degree with special circumstances. Her detached voice and nonsensical tone only reassures me this can't be real. I refuse to believe it is. Before I even manage to think it's true, I point the gun at her. If I did murder him, you wouldn't be acting like that. You wouldn't be standing in front of me. You'd be running away, calling the police, begging for help, yelling that I'm a psycho. Oh, you are a psycho. But I'm not a coward. I won't let you walk out of here alive. This doesn't make a single lick of sense. Tears well up in my eyes. Why are you doing this? Because sometimes one has to confront what they're really made of. There's no two ways about it. She's gotta be nuts. Slowly but surely she starts walking towards me. Stop right there or I'll shoot. Go on. It's the only way you're getting off the hook, isn't it? The only way you can survive. But you will definitely prove you are the monster I claim you are. What the fuck is this tone? So controlling, inauthentic, patronizing. I'm serious? For your own sake, you better be. She keeps getting closer. Maybe I did kill Antonov. Maybe I don't deserve to live. Maybe it's less tiring not to live. Maybe I should just let her take care of me. Maybe I will just wake up. Or maybe this insane reality needs to be rejected as violently as possible. Maybe a world that wants to destroy me deserves to be destroyed. She's right in front of me. It's now or never. She's insane. I close my eyes and squeeze the trigger. A loud bang echoes through the alley. I'm afraid to look at what I've done. I've been to a shooting range once, felt absolutely horrified by pistols. Such a small thing, but it can easily puncture a hole in the fabric reality it's made of. Never knew I'd be able to use it against another human being. The very thought of it makes me want to puke. You were the right choice after all. I'm so glad. You haven't allowed yourself to break, but you've crossed the line I needed you to cross. There's a silent flame in you that could become an inferno if left unchecked. I sure hope it will. She's still alive. Her voice is coming from behind me. She puts her hands around my waist, and her cold mouth touches my neck. I can feel my shirt getting violently torn off. I don't understand, but I'm too dazed to protest. I gotta focus here, hang on. That was your final test. Congratulations, you have proven yourself worthy. I can feel something sharp sliding into my neck. It's not too painful, just startling. Think, a doctor pushing a needle into your vein without a proper warning. Then it hits me. Pure bliss. The dopamine receptors I've considered completely fried until now suddenly recovered and start bombarding me with pleasure I've never known before. I finally let the tears go. Like I'm flooding. They've been waiting for years. Such a relief. Is it raining? I feel like I'm in the middle of the lodge, at least. Washing away all my fears, all my sorrows, all of my anger, my pain, my ego. I become one with the world and the woman behind me. She's holding me so tight, making me feel like the only important thing in the world is me. Everything else blurs. I feel something intense towards her, something I've never felt before. Is this love? I hope it is. This is not you. This is a familiar, cynical voice in the back of my head. It's okay. It's okay. I never felt particularly fond of me anyway. New York, you're perfect. Please don't change a thing. He who laughs in the shadows always has the last laugh. Hallelujah, praise be! When everything is cliched, nothing is. Isn't that the ever distant utopia I've been chasing all along? People on the other trains, I hope you're doing fine. God, shut up, just enjoy it. You finally understand. She's making love to me. She's giving birth to me. She's burying me. I'm pretty sure I've been dead for a while. I'm pretty sure I could stare at my own corpse in her hands from a distance for a moment somehow. And then I'm alive again. She lifts her mouth from my neck. No, wait. I tasted blood in my mouth. Was I drinking her blood too? I realize that whatever this was, it's over, and I have to bask in the afterglow while I still can. I also immediately understand that I'm going to chase this fleeting feeling for the rest of my existence. Finally, she still lets out a whisper, which concludes the ceremony. No matter what happens next, don't forget. You are a monster. But you were lucky enough to be born into a world of monsters, so don't you ever mourn that fact. Embrace it. Oh, this is good! Gosh, I love vampire stories. I guess I should stop here. This was this is a lot to my throat. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I don't know if I'll make more of this game, but this was fun to begin after after a year and a half of going missing here in YouTube. Well, with this, I bid you goodbye and thank you so much for watching. I'll definitely come back to this game, even if it's just on my own. But if you guys want more, do let me know. Thank you for watching!